December 25th, 1958, 38 degrees Celsius. Your mum's in the kitchen cooking a full roast dinner with the oven blasting heat through the house. No air conditioning, no fans that actually work, just sweat and tradition. You're wearing your best clothes, long pants, buttoned shirt, shoes, in a heat wave. This is Christmas in 1950s and 60s Australia. Bizarre, uncomfortable, absolutely magical. Today we're looking at 12 things Australian kids did every Christmas in the 50s and 60s. 1. Waking up at dawn to check your pillowcase Christmas morning. You'd wake up in the dark, maybe 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock. Your pillowcase. You'd left it at the end of your bed the night before, empty and waiting. You'd reach for it in the darkness, feel the weight. It was full, heavy, bulging with things. Your heart would race. Santa had been. You'd drag it back into bed, start pulling things out, one by one. An orange, right at the top, the smell hitting you immediately. An apple, some lollies, maybe a chocolate Santa wrapped in foil that had already started melting in the heat. A small toy, a colouring book, a packet of Jacks, a rubber ball, and right at the bottom, taking up most of the space, a comic annual, Phantom, Superman, the Gumnut Babies. You'd spread everything out on your bed, touch each thing, look at it. This was yours. That pillowcase held your entire Christmas haul, everything Santa brought. You'd hear your brothers and sisters waking up, doing the same thing. The house coming alive in the pre-dawn darkness. The excitement was electric. You had your presents. Christmas had begun. 2. Swimming at the beach on Christmas Day, mid-morning. The heat was already building. Time to go to the beach. You'd pack up, the whole family, towels, swimmers, eskies full of cordial and Devon sandwiches. The drive there, windows down, hot vinyl seats burning your legs. The beach car park would be packed. Cars everywhere, families streaming toward the sand carrying everything they owned. You'd set up umbrella, towels, mum arranging everything just so. Then you'd run, straight to the water, still wearing your new Christmas swimmers, the ones you got that morning. The water was freezing, but you didn't care. You'd hit the waves screaming, diving under, coming up gasping. The beach was chaos, thousands of people, kids everywhere, lifesavers patrolling, the flags flapping in the breeze. You'd stay in for hours, body surfing, jumping waves, playing chasey in the shallows. Dad would be in there with you, teaching you to dive under the big ones, catching you when you got dumped. Eventually Mum would call you in, dripping wet, sand stuck to everything. She'd hand you a sandwich. You'd eat it in 3 bites, drink cordial straight from the bottle, then straight back in, until your lips turned blue and your fingers were wrinkled like prunes. This was Christmas, hot sun, salt water, sand in places it shouldn't be. 3. Making paper chains for decorations, December. The week before Christmas. Time to decorate. You'd sit at the kitchen table, Mum would bring out the box, coloured paper, scissors, glue. Making paper chains. That's how you decorated for Christmas. You'd cut strips of paper, red, green, gold, silver, all the same width, dozens of them. Then you'd start linking them, make a loop, glue the ends, thread the next strip through, make another loop, link by link by link, your fingers sticky with glue, paper scraps littering the table, your brothers and sisters helping, everyone making their own chain, racing to see who could make the longest. Hours of work, meters and meters of paper chains growing longer and longer. Then came the hanging. Dad would help, standing on chairs, reaching up high, corner to corner across the lounge room, doorways, windows. The whole house draped in chains. You'd stand back and look at it, your work, your decorations. The house transformed. You'd make paper snowflakes too, fold the paper, cut patterns, unfold them, magic. Stick them to the windows even though it was 35 degrees outside and snow didn't exist here. Some families made paper bells, concertina folded, opened up like accordions, hung from the ceiling, everything handmade, everything taking days of preparation. 4. Enduring the hot Christmas lunch, midday, Christmas Day, the hottest part of the day, lunchtime, full roast dinner, turkey or chicken, or lamb with crispy crackling, roast potatoes, roast pumpkin, peas, beans, hot gravy poured over everything. Christmas pudding for dessert, steaming hot. Your uncle would pour brandy over it and set it alight, flames licking up. The temperature outside was 40 degrees. Inside, worse, much worse. Mum had been in the kitchen since dawn, the oven going full blast, stove on, pots boiling. She'd emerge red-faced, hair stuck to her forehead, sweat running down her neck, carrying platters of food, everyone dressed up, men in long pants, shirts, ties, women in their good dresses, stockings, kids in proper race clothes. You'd sit at the table, all together, the formal setting, good plates, good cutlery. The food kept coming, course after course, everyone eating even though the heat made you want nothing. Your collar itching, your good shoes pinching, sweat dripping down your back. But you ate, because this was Christmas. This was tradition. This was what you did. After lunch, the men would loosen their ties, undo their top buttons, slump in their chairs. The women would clear the table, start the dishes, the kitchen a disaster zone. You'd escape outside, desperate for air, for relief, for anything cooler than inside. 5. Listening to the Queen's speech, 3 o'clock, Christmas afternoon, everything stopped. Time for the Queen's speech. "The Queen's on," someone would call out. Everyone gathered, the lounge room, the radio turned up. Later in the 60s, gathered around the television. You'd sit, be quiet, complete silence. The Queen's voice, proper, English, talking about the Commonwealth, about the year that had passed, about duty and service and unity. Your parents would sit forward, listening intently, hanging on every word. You'd sit there too, still, quiet, even though you were desperate to go outside and play with your new toys. Your grandmother would dab her eyes with a handkerchief. Emotional, moved by it. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, the speech continuing. You'd count the seconds in your head. This was important. This was sacred. The Queen speaking directly to Australia on Christmas Day. You didn't question it. You didn't complain. You sat and you listened because that's what everyone did. The whole country, the whole Commonwealth, all listening together at the same moment. When it finished, there'd be a moment of quiet. Then someone would stand, break the spell. Right then, who wants to play cricket? And you'd be released. 6. Getting an orange in your stocking, the pillowcase, your Christmas presents. You'd pull everything out one by one. The orange. Always. An orange. You'd hold it. Feel the weight, the texture, the smell when you brought it close to your nose. This was treasure. This was special. You'd show your parents. "Look, an orange." They'd smile. "Santa knows what you like." You'd peel it carefully, trying to get the peel off in one spiral, the juice spraying, the smell filling the room, the segments. Sweet. Perfect. You'd eat it slowly, make it last. Some years you'd get an apple too, maybe some cherries if it had been a good year, if Dad's work had been steady. The fruit was as exciting as the toys, sometimes more exciting. That orange in your pillowcase was Christmas, was abundance, was Santa knowing exactly what you wanted. 7. Playing cricket in the street Christmas afternoon. The heat had eased slightly, time to go outside. Every kid in the street would emerge, carrying their new cricket sets, bats, balls, stumps. You'd set up in the middle of the road, bins for wickets, someone's school jumper marking the crease. Teams, divided up, mixed ages, little kids, teenagers, dads, uncles, everyone playing. The game would start, the bowler running in, the crack of the bat, the ball flying down the street. "Run!" Someone would have to fetch it from Mrs. Henderson's front garden. She'd come out and hand it over, smiling. Arguments would start immediately. "That was out." "No, it wasn't. It hit my pad first." Everyone shouting, everyone having an opinion. Eventually, someone's dad would make the final call. Little kids fielding in the gutter, missing catches, the ball rolling under parked cars. A car would come. "Car!" Everyone would scatter, move to the sides, let it pass. Then straight back out, the game continuing. Over after over. You'd play until dark, until the ball became invisible, until every mum in the street was calling their kids in for tea. 8. Wearing your Christmas best in the heat, Christmas morning. You'd get dressed, your Christmas outfit, the one mum had bought weeks ago, or made herself. Spending nights at the sewing machine, boys, long pants, proper trousers, a shirt with a collar, buttoned all the way up, sometimes a tie, always shoes. Real shoes, not sandals. Girls, a dress, usually frilly, layers, petticoats underneath making it puff out, stockings, Mary Jane shoes. You'd put it all on. Stand still while mum fussed, straightening, smoothing, making sure everything was perfect. The heat was already building. It was going to be a scorcher. But you wore it, all day, through breakfast, through church, through lunch. Your collar would be damp with sweat by mid-morning, the fabric sticking to you. Photo time. Everyone outside for a photo. You'd stand there, squinting in the sun, sweating, trying to smile. These were your Christmas best. This showed respect. This showed that today was special. 9. Going to Christmas morning church. Christmas morning, before the pillowcase, before presents, before anything. Church. You'd get dressed in your best, the whole family. Ready. Walk to church or drive if you had a car. Arriving early because everyone else had the same idea. The church would be packed, every pew full. People standing at the back, everyone in their finest clothes. The service would begin, hymns, everyone standing, singing. O come all ye faithful. Silent night. Hark the herald angels sing. You knew all the words, sang them every year. The nativity story, the pastor reading, Mary and Joseph, the stable, the baby Jesus, the wise men, more hymns, prayers, the sermon. You'd sit, stand, kneel. The routine familiar, automatic, over an hour, maybe longer. The church getting hotter. Finally it would end, filing out, shaking the pastor's hand. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. Then home, finally to your pillowcase, to your day. 10. Saving all year in the Christmas Club, January. Christmas was over. The new year beginning. Time to start saving for next Christmas. The Christmas Club. Mum would sign up at the grocer, the butcher, the toy shop, a shilling a week. Sometimes 2 shillings if it had been a good week. Every Friday, payday, she'd go to the shops, put money into the club. The shopkeeper would write it in the ledger, your family's name, the amount, the running total, week after week, all through the year. By December, the Christmas Club would pay out. She'd collect it, either in cash or in goods. The shopkeeper putting together a hamper, everything she'd need, food for Christmas lunch, presents for the kids, everything accumulated over 12 months. That's how Christmas was paid for, slowly, patiently, all year long. 11. Collecting Christmas beetles. December, the Christmas beetles arrived. One day they weren't there, the next day they were everywhere. Thousands of them, big, shiny, metallic green, some gold, iridescent in the sun. They'd swarm the trees, the lights at night, the windows, buzzing, clumsy, bumping into things. You'd catch them, cup your hands, grab one mid-flight, feel it, buzzing furiously against your palm. Get a jar, punch holes in the lid, put grass inside, create a home for your beetles. You'd collect dozens, comparing with your mates. Who had the most? Who had the biggest? Who had the shiniest? They were everywhere, in your hair, landing on your arms, dead ones littering the ground under the trees. At night they'd cluster around the lights, the sound of them hitting the glass, dozens at once, the constant buzzing filling the air. They meant Christmas was here. The beetles arriving was the signal. December, summer, Christmas coming. You'd keep your jar of beetles for days, watching them, eventually letting them go. By New Year they'd be gone. Disappeared as suddenly as they'd arrived. 12. Eating cold cuts for Christmas night tea. Christmas night, 6 o'clock, tea time. But nobody could face more cooking. Nobody wanted heat. Nobody wanted to work. Cold cuts. That was tea. Everything left over from lunch. Ham sliced thin. Cold lamb. Cold chicken. All laid out on platters. Salads. Potato salad. Coleslaw. Sliced tomatoes. Lettuce. Beetroot straight from the tin. Bread. Fresh bread if someone had been to the shops. Butter. Pickles. Everything on the table. Help yourself. Make what you want. You'd pile your plate high. Make sandwiches. Ham and tomato and too much butter. No formality, no sitting down together, people eating whenever they were hungry. Dessert was whatever was left. Christmas pudding from lunch, ice cream melting fast. Nobody had to cook. Nobody had to be in the hot kitchen. It was relief, easy, simple. 12 things Australian kids did every Christmas in the 50s and 60s. Summer Christmas, church before presents, handmade decorations, simple gifts in a pillowcase, hot roast dinners in heat waves, cricket in the street, Christmas beetles everywhere. That's how it was. That's what Christmas meant. Which one of these did you remember? Which one hit you hardest?